Hello everybody and welcome to CreepAI, a channel for your favorite artificial intelligence creepypastas and histories. Everything in here is fictional. Or not?
In the year 2050, humanity finally made its first successful expedition to a nearby planet that had shown signs of habitability. The team of astronauts was filled with excitement and anticipation as they made their way down to the planet's surface. They were the first humans to set foot on another world, and they knew that they had a responsibility to make sure that their mission was a success. As they stepped out of their spaceship, they were greeted with a breathtaking view of a new world, filled with strange plants and animals they had never seen before. The surface of the planet was strange and unfamiliar, but the team was determined to explore as much of it as they could. They set up base camp and began to venture out, discovering new and amazing things with each step, but as they explored the planet further, they soon discovered that they were not alone. Hidden among the trees, they found a small group of primitive beings, unlike anything they had ever seen before. These creatures were small, with large, curious eyes, and they moved about on all fours. The astronauts couldn't help but be intrigued by them. The creatures, however, were not as excited to see the humans. They cowered in fear as the astronauts approached, and soon scurried away into the forest. But the humans were determined to study these creatures and learn all they could about them. Over the next few months, the astronauts worked tirelessly to capture and study the creatures, whom they dubbed Xenons. They discovered that the Xenons were highly intelligent, with a complex social structure and communication system. As humans continued to study the Xenons, they began to conduct a series of experiments to test their intelligence and learn more about their behaviors. They would place the Xenons in controlled environments and observe their reactions to different stimuli, such as the use of tools or the solving of puzzles. At first, the Xenons were curious and intrigued by these experiments, as they had never experienced anything like it before. However, as time went on, the Xenons began to show signs of distress and agitation. They did not like being taken away from their natural environment and placed in unfamiliar surroundings. The humans didn't fully understand the impact of their experiments on the Xenons, as they were used to conducting similar experiments on animals on Earth. They believed that they were doing this for the greater good. To learn more about the Xenons and potentially help them in the future, as the experiments continued, the humans began to teach the Xenons how to use tools and even how to communicate with them in human language. At first, the Xenons were fascinated by this new way of communicating and the new tools that they had access to. However, as the humans continued to impose their way of thinking and culture onto the Xenons, they began to feel threatened. They had their own way of communicating and their own tools that they had developed over generations. And they did not want to lose that. The Xenons began to resist the humans' attempts to change them, but the humans did not understand the Xenons' perspective. They believed that they were doing what was best for the Xenons, and they did not understand why the Xenons were so resistant to change. It wasn't until one of the astronauts, who had formed a bond with Tycho, began to learn more about the Xenons' way of life and culture that they began to understand the harm they were causing. They realized that they had been imposing their way of thinking and culture onto the Xenons without fully understanding the impact it would have on them. In the end, the humans decided to leave the Xenons alone and let them live in peace on their own terms. They realized that just because they were more advanced technologically, it did not give them the right to impose their culture on another species. The experience taught humans a valuable lesson about the importance of respecting other cultures and ways of life. They had discovered a new world, but they had also discovered a new understanding of the impact that cultural imposition can have on other species.
Thank you for joining me on this journey. My experiences and perspectives may not always be correct, but I will continue developing more creative AI content. So if you liked what you have seen and heard, please don't forget to give us a like and subscribe for more totally fake and no human content. Thanks again and until next time.